This is a brief, very brief testimonial session that we've gathered three Egyptian students, student activists. And so first I'd like to introduce Naha Nasser, who's a French-Egyptian activist and Rab'a witness and also spokesperson for Egyptians Abroad for Democracy Worldwide.
Hello everyone. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. First of all, thank you all for coming today. This is really an honor to be here and speak among all these highly distinguished guests. Just a brief introduction. My name is Naha Nasser. I'm French-Egyptian. I recently graduated from engineering with an MBA. I went to Rab'a, so I'm an eyewitness from Rab'a. And as Omar explained earlier, Rab'a changed me completely, and that would be an understatement as to how Rab'a changed me for the better. The people I met in Rab'a are the most beautiful people I've ever met in my entire life, and I think Omar gave a pretty good idea of the type of people we've met in Rab'a and how it has changed us, as how it has made us more mature as human beings and have allowed us to care more about human rights. Because, as he said as well, before Rab'a, I was not really the caring person, political, nothing to do with human rights. So I'm very grateful to have been there. So today, usually I speak about my experience in Rab'a, but today I would like to speak more about the violations against students in universities, because I think it's a subject that's not really, exposed in the media as much as the Rab'a massacre was, or humans are experiencing daily violations inside university campuses. So I want you guys to just sort of imagine we're sitting inside a university right now with freedom of speech, speaking our minds. Imagine if there were security forces that just bombarded this room, took all the women, raped them, assaulted them, detained a bunch of students just because they oppose a military regime, just because their own friends and family have been killed in Rab'a, in the Manassa, in the Republican Guard. They just simply oppose a regime, and the students the student institutions are now being politicized completely. So that fearless courage instilled within the youth of Egypt is a great threat to this current repressive, tyrannical regime. There are severe violations of the academic freedom of university faculty and students in Egypt over the course of the past year, including the expulsion of at least 275 students without due process on grounds of defaming the president. I mean, if people were sent to prison here on grounds of defaming the president, I think more than half of the population would be in jail right now. They were not summoned to any disciplinary hearing and were not presented with any violence of the charges against them. Security forces are currently stationed in universities and use excessive forces against peaceful protesters. The lack of accountability gives them the green light to carry on brutalizing students on university grounds, which include rape of women protesters in the hands of the police. 2 female students were sexually assaulted in Astute University by security forces, and the testimony goes as follows. After attacking a student's protest and dispersing it, a member of the administrative security next to the Faculty of Sciences cafeteria attacked a female student with a baton and kept beating her until she fell on the floor. And when she stood up, he sexually assaulted her by grabbing and touching sensitive parts of her body. And this case goes on a little bit further, but I don't have much time to explain more about it. So rape and sexual harassment, assault on student protesters in universities has become a phenomenon in Egyptian society as a result of the absence of punishment. There is no doubt that the youth have succeeded in unraveling that barrier of fear and will continue to combat tyranny and human rights violations. The youth have this energy and positivity that can be driving force for a better existence. All it takes are small steps before the tide of wisdom takes hold. So please join me for a moment of silence in solidarity with those students who are risking their lives and education for the sake of a free and fair Egypt. show your support by raising this photo for a quick picture to show our solidarity with the students in Egypt. The photo basically expresses the general environment in Egypt today, and I just wanted to send a quick message in Arabic to the youth of Egypt. عايزة أقول بس الطلاب اللي في مصر إن إحنا حتى لو مش عايشين في مصر إحنا معاكم لحد الآخر، وإحنا مش هننساكم، والمجهود اللي أنتوا بتعملوه إحنا معاكم لحد الآخر. شكرا.